Good day, fellas. I hope you're ready for your daily dose of skill, and today we have a new patch, 1.16.1, and there is, I would say, one exciting thing which came into the game, and this is the most important thing. This is going to be a humongous help for many World of Tanks players. And in a way, this is going to be a nerf for an excellent players, because excellent players knows the outlining of the vehicles, and if someone is standing behind the cover, they know when they can shoot and they know when they cannot shoot. But nowadays it is going to be visible for everyone, and you must have this setting on. Anyways, looking what do we have here, fellas. Frontline returns. I'm not too excited about the frontline, but I know there is plenty of people who loves it, so congratulations if you are one of frontline lovers. Pretty much only tier 8s are allowed, and you can make a lot of credits as usual. After that, we have a different game mode which is called Art of the Strategy. Pretty much either you are playing 1 against 7 or 1 against 1, if I'm not mistaken, so this is quite interesting stuff. And most importantly, fellas, new vehicles outlining, right? So pretty much if you would pay attention at this picture nowadays, how the things are going to look like, you are going to see when you can shoot the tank and when you cannot shoot the tank. For example, if the tank is behind the ridge line or behind the stones, it will look like this. So you cannot shoot here, you cannot penetrate, don't even bother. If person is sitting close to some kind of, let's say, car or whatever, pillar, doesn't matter, it is going to have outline like this. And this is super important thing to say, because you could shoot mouse potentially with a piece somewhere into the lower plate, or obviously alternatively you can load the hits here. Anyways, you get the point what I am saying, right? So yeah, moving into the settings, this is the most important part, fellas. What we need outlining, and I would highly recommend to turn on the simplified aiming. The simplified aiming is super important, because you are not seeing all this nonsense over there, okay? You do not see the machine guns or something. You do not need this information, fellas. You need to see only tank silhouette. This is very, very important. This is very important thing. Now, I would highly recommend to have the penetratable area marked as a textures. It is extremely important setting, fellas, and I would once again highly recommend to do so. Go for it. Texture it is. And in penetratable area, obviously go with fill. So you know you do not want to aim over there. You know you want to shoot somewhere here. That's important thing, and this is the settings you want to have with pretty much on any of your account, right? And now, without further ado, what I want to highlight more, and yes, we are going to have some gameplay today, don't worry, fellas. Today we are going to play with Rev, since this tank was given for people for a rental time, and if I am not mistaken, you could get this vehicle by checking your email and by getting report of what you have done in a month of World of Tanks. So you could get Chrysler key and you could get Rev. Now, this is very important thing to say, fellas. What that basically means, if you would pay attention at the mark of excellence expectation values, this is your time to shine. You need, if you are tank marker or you ever wanted to try to mark the tanks and you have Rev, let's say on 70% of mark of excellence, after one game you are going to raise up to 85, if not 90. Expectation values are extremely low. It is 2,200 to get mark of excellence on, so use it with a big smile on your face. Same thing goes for the Chrysler. If I am not mistaken, this tank was given as a rental tank, and as you can see, it dropped down, but not that significantly. Expectation values are 2,300, and I really wanted to mention this, fellas. It is important. So now, without further ado, let's teleport into the game with Rev and let's make this vehicle work, shall we? And the very first battle which we are having with Rev, unfortunately for us, it is going to be Mountain Pass tier 10. Definitely not the best battle I ever dreamed of, let's put that in this way, but it's okay. Now, speaking of the Rev, I think this is very underrated tank, but there is one but, it is extremely hard tank to play with. So now looking into the gun of this vehicle, we have 390 alpha damage with a standard shell, so obviously with a gold as well, 200 millimeters of penetration, and look at the shell velocity, 1460 meters. That's extremely good. Obviously there is bad things about this tank as well, not everything is that good, so if you would pay attention at obviously armor of this tank has no armor whatsoever, and that's very important thing to say. Now looking into the gold penetration, 250, so you are getting 50 millimeters more penetration, which is always nice and always welcome, but you're losing quite a bit of the shell velocity with this tank. And I really want to highlight, this Rev is not frontline warrior unless you are dealing against the tier 6, tier 7s. Then yeah, fine, you can play relatively aggressively, but if you are playing against the tier 10s, I can promise you that you do not want to be too aggressive, you do not want to go in front, and you don't want to show the dominance against the trash burn, because when trash burn will spank you, you will forget your name, and I can tell you one thing, you won't enjoy yourself, that's for sure. Now obviously I am very excited to show you the new settings which we have in the game, and this video is highlighted for a patch 1.16.1 obviously. And once again, this outline setting is the most important thing what every single player should do instantly. The first thing whenever you are doing in the game night, you are changing some settings. Now pay attention at this beauty, how is it looking like from the ally point of view. So look how much easier is that to aim when you know, aha, you can shoot like this. And in the past you could do the same thing, but it was taking some time. You needed to go like this, you know, you needed to search for angles. Nowadays game is calculating everything for you. It is like having a car and using let's say auto drive or autopilot, however you would call this, right? And this is very good feature, it is convenient, it is quality of life. And I know there is going to be some people who are going to be unhappy about this, especially better players who knows how to aim and who knows how this mechanic was working like before, right? But to be fair with you, I think it is good quality of life change, honestly. That's what I believe and that's what I think. Beautiful. Another free shot, very nice. And at this point we are trying to figure out, maybe we can spot the standard B sitting somewhere over there. This is a risky call, fellas. It is not so simple as I would love to say, but that's what we need to do. In fact, I have a feeling I am going to drop down like this and I am going to make a bit of pressure. Once again, this is not that epic speaking about the score, but fellas, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, it is not so simple for us to play this, and the main reason being is the map is definitely very far away from being bueno for this tank. And unfortunately enemies have no team whatsoever. Well, unfortunately, maybe fortunately I suppose to say, because we are going to pick up victory with a big smile on our face. Look at this beauty, kaboom, right up the butthole, very nice. And at this point all we need to do, we need to start making pressure for the enemy forces, just like so. What we need to be afraid of, we need to be afraid of the Kranwagen who could sit here. We are going to use our friendly Kranwagen as a meat shield a bit, since we are playing with a bottom tier and we need to be very careful, right? Enemy Kran is thinking he can go on top of the hill. He cannot. Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, this gentleman, he cannot go on top of the hill, and we are going to spank him like there is no tomorrow. He's regretting his life choices, and he is thinking, oh my bananas, if only I would escape in time. To be fair with you, this is what this gentleman is thinking. But once again, mistakes were made, so nothing what he can change about this, and at this point we need to figure out how to deal with this object. Obviously, I'm trying to build a better angle. He is turning to our allies. This is good. We are trying to track him. Unfortunately, no track for us, but we are fine. And look at this gangbang. Oi, poor soul. Can I hit him once, pretty please? Yummy, thank you. Love is still sitting here. He is down to 400 hit points. I really doubt I will be able to get into position to smack him, and first game over. Yeah, that was quite a game. 15-2. Who could expect that, right? Well, that's World of Tanks nowadays. And now you might think, but skill, it is 2,300. It's not that great. And I agree. Gameplay and the score maybe could be better, but this is enough to get third mark of excellence. So if you are third mark hunter or you never try to go for mark of excellence, and for some reason you are on 70 or 80% of mark of excellence with Rev, go play with this tank. You are going to get the third mark of excellence, and you are going to say thanks, Skill. Thank you very much for your advice. That's what you are going to say. Anyways, looking into this, we are third by experience, we are fourth by the damage. That's completely fine. We made 143,000 profits. Yummy. Thank you very much. Let's keep going. By the way, I'm going with ventilation rammer and improved aiming because this is the best setup for this tank, and lately I was testing a lot of the builds with improved aiming, and in certain situations it's way better than vertical stabilizer, and I'm not even joking. Anyways, round number 2, let's go. And we are back, fellas. So what do we have? We have so much better matchmaking this time. First of all, we played against the tier 10, so we got our ass whooped. Or maybe we were witnessing enemies getting their ass whooped. In this situation, we are feeling so much better. I can promise you that. So, as many of you know, Redshire, unfortunately, enemies have winning spawn, but obviously we are not going to give up. Why am I saying enemies are having winning spawn? Because it is so much easier to defend this, but enemies can make one bad mistake, and that bad mistake is whenever enemies are... Oh, look at this market. It's so good. Anyways, what I want to highlight, enemies can make one big fat mistake, and that big fat mistake is they can try to make pressure like this. And if they are going to go in, I will do everything in my power in order to make enemies regret their life choices. And for now, oh, look at this beautiful angle. Look at this. Can we? That was actually pretty close. That was pretty close, fellas. This is very, very hard to hit him, but it's possible. Let's go. The thing is, Rev as a tank, it is pretty amazing. Speaking about the gun accuracy, and even though there is a pixel shot, I am always going for those pixel shots if you are aimed fully. This is very important thing to say, fellas. And yes, you might not have the best armor in the world of tanks. Yes, you might be not the most flexible vehicle or something, but you have your own beautiful things. So for example, here, look at this beauty. Long range shot, kaboom, like there is no tomorrow. Like there is no tomorrow, fellas. Meanwhile, can we eliminate this guy? He's already dead. Excellent. And you know what? I feel like we have enough forces here. So what do we want to do? We want to get a bit better position against the sniper schnitzels who are playing here, or I suppose to say the guys who are trying to get a bit more involved. Even though enemies are playing in the winning spawn, by the first look of it, we are not going to lose this game, so we are winning. Hip hip hooray. Well, that means our team is stronger. Very nice. Anyways, what do we want to do? We want to get involved here as soon as possible, and the first guy which we are going to punish is going to be this TVP VOD. At least that's what I want to believe. Okay, step by step, little by little, can we craft a bit better angle? TVP is trying to escape, and look at this marker. Look at this marker. I am so damn happy about this, believe me. And once again, this is going to be such a humongous help for many World of Tanks players, I can promise you that. This will make game a bit easier. And you can say whatever you want, fellas, but World of Tanks is not that easy game to play, especially if you are a newcomer to this game. If you are just starting your journey in the World of Tanks, this game can be complicated. You do not know spotting mechanics yet, you do not know the positions yet, and so on, but everything is fine, fellas. Another one, let's take our time to aim, and kaboom, beautiful 471. Once again, you kind of do not need gold ammunition with this vehicle, and this is absolutely amazing. I'm going to go for a blind shot, because why the heck not? Let's go. It is not looking that great as a game, but once again, the biggest highlight of all this is, fellas, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, whenever you are having the 15 to 5 situation, it is very hard to make the things work properly. I can promise you that. It is not so simple as I would love to say it is. Yeah! Easy game. No, not really. You need to try to do your best, and still even you trying to do your best is not going to secure you extremely great performance or something. Now, speaking of performance, how are you doing today? Enjoying yourself? Great, good to hear that. Unfortunately, missed shot. This is RNG, not the tank, fellas. This tank can hit shots with relative ease. We are aiming for a track. Unfortunately, we are only doing damage for him, and officially Progetto is dead. Once again, not great performance, fellas, considering the matchmaking and everything. I was a bit too passive here, but this is enough to get the third mark of excellence. And I am not doing anything extraordinary here. I am not using hacks, or am I? What I'm trying to say, it is very, very laid back gameplay. For me, I am enjoying myself. I am just floating through the game like shit is floating through the river, and it works just fine. 2.3 thousand damage, 100 assisting damage. Once again, not the best game ever, but that's what we have, and we made 60,000 profits. Hip hip hooray, let's go for round number 3, shall we? And for our last game of the day, we have the El Galuf with the tier 9s. It's okay, it should be fine for us. So what do we have? Looking into enemy matchmaking, sniper schnitzel, sniper schnitzel, sniper, 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 sniper. Borat could be sniper, it doesn't necessarily mean he's going to go like this. So what am I thinking about this? I am going to play relatively passively. I am going to sit somewhere around this area, but I think this is going to pay off for us. That's what I think, because biggest fight is going to be here just because of the matchmaking. What do we have? At least that's what I want to believe, and that's what I believe in. Meanwhile, we are trying to spank the Borat somehow, maybe. No, not really, that's okay. Worth a try anyways. And look at this. Now we are having so much better angles, and we are hoping for our allies to spot something for us. That's all we need, fellas. We are on the full relaxation, and we are just waiting for enemy Bora to make one or another mistake. That's all we want to see. Meanwhile, our guys are getting spotted. Actually, this convoy is taking one for the team, so I assume they have T92 either somewhere here or either up here. 1 out of 2, I would say. Since we do not really have anything to do, I'm going to try to go for a blind shot, and I'm spotted. Okay, that's fair. What that basically means, once again, I got spotted probably from the middle. I would say T92 is sitting right there in this bush. This would be my initial impression, and this would be my initial guess. Is it the case? Time will show absolutely everything. So, At this point, should I go for another blind shot or should I attempt to go for it? Yeah, why not? This is definitely a direct hit. Obviously, I have no bloody clue did I penetrated someone or not, but I am going to go for another one as well. No blind shots for us. We have Borat. Beautiful. Ay. Rev, you could hit shots like this. Don't behave like this. Rev, I believe in you. You can do this so much better. I'm trying to go for a blind shot for this Borat. It is okay. Obviously, whoever is sitting here, he is not feeling very happy and he is thinking I am sitting in this bush, but oh boy, you are wrong. For sure. Meanwhile, T92 is getting spotted in the position where I predicted him to be. That's alright, and now we know. How about a pixel shot? Actually, that wasn't a pixel shot. That wasn't a pixel shot, fellas. Let's go for another blind, just like so. Definitely not a hit. Okay, at this point, we need to figure out how we can get a bit more involved, fellas. I would say we need to figure out how to get more involved. There is only one way how we can do the things. And how we are going to approach the enemies. We are going to go like this and we are going to go into the middle. Hopefully from the middle we will be able to craft a very nice angle for a gentleman who are sitting here. That's the plan, that's the hope, that's the dream. Once again, Rev is not easy tank to play with, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. In fact, it is quite hard tank to make it work, but everything is possible. Meanwhile, taking our time to aim and we are eliminating the Suka Pershing from the game. Beautiful. Can we help our T30? Yeah, this is looking very complicated. I think at this point I need to load the gold ammunition for this 257. So, the moment of truth, can I hit him? And answer is yes, I can, but no penetration. Shame. It's okay. Let's take our time, fellas. We have all time in the world of tanks. Now, if we are going to do the things properly, we should be able to get extra shot. That's much appreciated as usual. And at this point, we are trying to figure out how to approach the enemies and how to get some assisting damage and some damage dealt. Right? So, at this point, let's try to go up just like so. Unfortunately, I do not really have traction here. That's fine. What can you do? How about if we would try to spot someone sitting here? This is the question. Can we do that or not really? By the looks of it, not really. That's okay. Let's take our time, fellas. That's all we have in this game. Maybe I could play a bit more aggressively, but it's okay. It is very easy to say whenever you are seeing you are winning or you are losing the game, you know? Well, maybe I could play a bit aggressive. Yeah, maybe I could, but who can know how the game will look like? No one can. Unless you are Oracle. If you can predict the future, good for you, my man. Good for you. Meanwhile, K91PT is trying to run for his life and officially he is effed. Beautiful. Meanwhile, we have the Leo Pata. We managed to spank him very nice. And do you see this this new feature of the game? I am so happy it is in the game, fellas. I am so happy this is in the game. Look at this pixel. Let's try to hit him. Very, very nice. We are winning by 3000 hit points already. We are winning by the 3000 hit points. Oi, oi. Oi, oi. Okay. Obviously, this tank have no match for tanks like Borat, fellas. If you are going to meet a Borat, Borat will clip you out without even asking your name. And obviously, at that point, you can only complain and you can only cry about your life choices for purchasing Rev instead of purchasing Borat, honestly. I have another idea how we can approach them. And how we are going to do the things, we are going to use this position. Now, if we are going to do everything properly, there is a chance we are going to spot Mr. Borat somewhere here in the corner. But as you can see, Borat is not sitting here. I'm a bit paranoid to make a bit of pressure here, fellas, honestly. I am a bit paranoid, but I need to do what I need to do. Trying to hit the Leo, beautiful shot up the ass, minus 400 for this gentleman, nice. And at this point we are going to be just tiny touch more aggressive. Now, Borat is going to be our next victim, at least that's what I want to believe. So let's see, could we spank him? Oh, hello there, Sue, minus 400, beautiful. 6 seconds left and we are trying to craft a nice angle for Mr. Borat. By the looks of it, Borat is sitting somewhere next to the red line. Or maybe he escaped like this, also could be a possibility. What do you think, fellas? Yeah! He sneaked like a bloody snake, fellas, and he gangbanged our Arta. Oh well, what can I say? Victory is victory. We are winning the game and our Arta is dead. So excellent, fellas. Amazing performance. Now, obviously, we are not going to bother to catch this Borat. I do not really mind too much. I am feeling pretty good with this, fellas. And this is how we are finishing the game. Beautiful. I have a feeling, fellas, this Centurion is a man of the culture. PP raised, victory, shot in the air. This is how we are finishing everything. So, looking into this session, even though, fellas, it was a weak one, right? I am not here to, no, but the weather or something, no. It wasn't the greatest session ever. We would still get the third mark of excellence. I don't know, fellas, and we are not doing a rocket science here, so that's nice thing. Once again, quick reminder for you, if you haven't played with a Rev in a while, I would highly recommend to play with Rev nowadays, because you are going to raise with Mark of Excellence by significant margin. Great, we hit some blind shots, that's always nice and always welcome. 2,900 damage visible, 60,000 profits, which is always nice and always welcome, and in the end of the day we have 2,500 average damage, 3 victories. That's okay. Obviously not the best game, but that's what we have. This is what Rev can do. Although, once again, in the maps like Himmelsdorf, Ansk, it is not the most flexible tank to play with, but in the maps like Prokhorovka, Kempinovka, Redshire, wherever you need to snipe, oh, this tank is solid banana out of 10. So, thank you very much for watching, fellas. I hope you had a great time and I hope you enjoyed yourself. And see you very soon. Take care. Skill is out. Peace.